For thousands of years, the Ramayana has been categorized as a foundational piece of literature, a collection of religious poetry and grand mythological storytelling. But the historical record documented on these palm leaf manuscripts contains a layer of highly specific numerical data that has remained irreconcilable with modern history. This specific passage from the Aranya Kanda logs the biological ages of Ram and Sita at marriage as 13 and 6. The text provides a second data point. Exactly 12 years later, at the start of their exile, their logged ages are 25 and 18. Standard academic consensus typically dismisses these figures because a 6-year-old bride is a biological impossibility in any modern context. The numbers are often written off as poetic exaggeration. There is a different possibility. Perhaps the numbers are mathematically precise, but our modern understanding of the metric used to record them is incomplete. Solving the biological inconsistencies in these texts requires a shift in focus, away from literary analysis and toward the reversed engineering of ancient astrophysics. We have to begin with the macro mechanics of the ancient solar system, specifically the definition of a year as it was understood when these events were recorded. The text logs a specific calendar structure, 6 seasons, divided into 24 solar months of 30 days each. This results in a solar year of exactly 720 days. A 720-day orbit is double the length of our current 365-day year, suggesting a radically different relationship between the Earth and the Sun. We test this using Kepler's third law of planetary motion, which establishes that orbital period is dictated by distance from its star. Applying this law to a 720-day year yields a precise result. Earth must be positioned exactly 1.57 astronomical units from the Sun. For context, 1.57 astronomical units is roughly the same distance where Mars orbits today. A 720-day year is only physically possible at this specific distance. By logging this calendar, the text is preserving the coordinates of a world positioned much further from its star than our own. Bridging the gap between these two calendars requires one more variable, the behavior of the ancient lunar orbit. The text describes a moon that behaves very differently than ours. While the modern moon is fast, crossing a nakshatra in a single day, the ancient logs describe an incredibly slow transit, taking 11 days to cross that same distance. To find the biological age of the characters, we must synchronize this decelerated 11-day lunar cycle with the 720-day solar year. An 11-day transit yields a 300-day month. When we calculate a full 12-month year using this metric, we arrive at a lunar year of roughly 3,606 days. Now look at the solar math. A 5-year cycle of the ancient 720-day solar years equals exactly 3,600 days. These two massive orbital cycles, the 3,606-day lunar and the 3,600-day solar, lock together with nearly perfect mathematical alignment. This synchronization yields a specific ratio. 1 textual lunar year corresponds to 5 biological solar years. We can now return to the original biological problem of Ram and Sita using this 5-to-1 translation ratio. When we multiply Sita's textual age of 6 lunar years by 5, her biological age at marriage is revealed as 30 solar years. Applying the same math to Ram, his textual age of 13 translates to a biological age of 65 solar years. By utilizing the planetary math provided by the authors, these figures shift from biological absurdities into realistic, logical data. The ratio remains consistent even as the numbers scale up. Take King Dasharatha, who is famously recorded as being 60,000 years old. Dividing 60,000 by our metric results in 12,000 lunar years, a number that aligns with the lifespans of advanced practitioners recorded throughout the Treta Yuga. The internal consistency of this ratio across multiple characters and lifespans suggests the text is anchored to these specific astrophysical laws. Moving beyond the pure mathematics, we must now confront what this actually means for our fundamental understanding of ancient history. There is a common assumption that ancient authors were prone to impossible exaggerations because they lacked a scientific framework. The evidence suggests otherwise. The ancients were logging their reality with precision. It is our modern perspective that lacked the astronomical metric required to read their data. These epics survive as mathematically verifiable ledgers, recording the specifics of a distinct era in Earth's astrophysical history.